What is up, everybody? I'm Luke from the Master Sword Valley, and welcome back to more Doki Doki Blue Skies. Now, we are still going down a path with Sayori. The last two poems we wrote were for Sayori, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes, because and stuff that I've seen before, I've only watched videos on this. I've only seen pathways go with Natsuki and Yuri, but never really Sayori, so I'm curious to see where it goes. Let's see, we have our poems to show. I think last time we showed our poem to Monica first, so this time I'm gonna share mine with Yuri first. Alright, let me take a look at your piece for today. What? I must say, Alex, I like this poem a fair bit more than yesterday's. Even this early, your skills is improving remarkably. Really? Thanks, Yuri. That means a lot. I know how much you care about this sort of thing. It's really no trouble. Is it? I know sometimes writing can be a daunting task, so don't be too concerned if things don't always work out. Pushing the boundaries in poetry can be a great thing. Metaphors might seem complicated sometimes, but don't stress them too much. While of course you want to choose images that can capture the message you're trying to get across, I think the first things that come to mind are probably the clearest. Even if the metaphor doesn't seem to make sense, it can force your reader to think about something they wouldn't normally. That's one way to truly envelop your reader to see into your mind. It's a very inanimate exercise. I see. I think I might give that a go with the next poem. Thank you for sharing that with me, Yuri. Well, if you'd like to see an example of that, I've written something that captures that essence. Sure, I'd love to take a look. If it's something you've written, I'm sure it'll floor me. Yuri smiles shyly, handing me your poem. Resist. A whimsical, tiny cirrus friend sleeps along my amber bookend, dreaming about a sanguine day where mirrors, slender lampposts play. I cannot read this, it's in cursive. She beckons me, her hand extends, piercing pupils nearly rend. Azure channels bend and twist, cautiously held above the wrists. However, she finds her advances shunned, always cracking, always stunned, never able to draw the lance. Across my arm she's never danced. Perhaps it would be for the best if I laid her down to rest, whilst having given in to painful pleading from within. I think that it might be smart to save the song of fumbling hearts, lest tears make me dizzily fall, and answer her virulent call. That is really hard to read because I am bad at reading cursive. I feel a bit guilty after yesterday's argument with Natsuki. I wanted to experiment with my style a bit more. Hopefully it's not too confusing. It's hard to read, I'll say that. No, it's fine. Even if it's a bit more involved than yesterday's, I still like it. I'm noticing a lot more symbolism as well. I don't want to assume anything, but tons of poems. But the tone in this poem, I'm not sure how to describe it. Yes, I really wanted to test my abilities in creative expression. I didn't go too far, did I? No, it's really good. I just don't know if I'm good enough at this to deduce the meaning. If I had to explain it, I'd say it's about a closely guarded secret. I'd imagine everyone has a little something like that, something they force to keep to themselves for fear of ridicule. It's nice to be able to write about that sort of thing every now and then. If it's something you enjoy doing, shouldn't you write about it more? Well, it's not that simple. It's something if I'm uncomfortable talking about. I'm not sure people would understand. If anyone were to find out about it, well, I guess as long as it's not hurting anyone, people shouldn't pry. Do you think so? Sorry, I was thinking of something. It's a good point, though. The best I can do is try to embrace my own weirdness, right? Otherwise, I think I'd hate myself. Sorry to keep it so long. Thank you for allowing me to ramble. Whatever gets content on this channel here. Let's save that. Return. Let's go Natsuki next. No duh. Well, not bad, but not good. Ouch. Honestly, it's just like your first poem. Yeah, I did kind of try to write my first one, although I did attempt to make it a little bit easier. Well, mission accomplished, I guess. Still same things as last time. Try to make it more creative. It's just kind of bland as it is. Noted. Oh yeah, I should probably show you mine. Here. You sound like you just wanted to get that out to me. I don't get it. I don't get why people will hate on good rhymes. They act like it's dumb and a waste of their time. I don't diss their free verse or deep subject types, but be dark all you want, just keep in your gripes. Oh sure, you can tell me if you have a problem. Just keep it constructive and things will be awesome. Oh, okay. I'd like you to know that our readers will differ. There is no best style, your smug old glue sniffer. Is this something you made directly from me? My poems may be simple and often straightforward, but charm can be found in such whimsy and order. Not all poems can be as complex as you like. If you think otherwise, you can go take a hike. What about kids or the elderly too? Some read for fun, I guess unlike you. Let us just go and enjoy what is written. You won't like it at all, that's much is a given, but give things a chance. You just might find something nice. Just open your mind and that will suffice. It seems like he wrote this thing just for me. I don't get it. I don't get it either. So, what do you think? I mean, it's well written at least. I'm not sure how I should confront Natsuki about this, but to say that she's hold a grudge from yesterday would be an understatement. God forbid Yuri see this poem. Well, that's a given. But yeah, you could say that I was inspired. It really felt good to pound on these lines. Poetry's an amazing emotional outlet, you know. Anyway, I can't wait to show Yuri this poem. Wait, hold on. What? Natsuki, do you really think that showing her this poem is a good idea? You're really going to throw her with this? Don't you think that you should work out your issues with her? Yeah, well, she never tries to see things my way. So why should I? I think that's the wrong way to go about this. Relationships are a two-way street. Both people have to work to make things right. Why don't you try being the bigger person and just talk to her first? But I already know that she's not going to try it. She's just always so preoccupied with looking complicated and smart. It's clear to me that she doesn't care if anyone can understand her, including me. You can't understand her if you don't even try. She might speak using more complex vocabulary, and she may have mannerisms that seem strange to you. But from what I've seen, the both of you, she's more similar to you than you might think. Are you judging a book by its cover right now? Well, whatever. You can't hold this grudge forever, you know. At least think of Monica and Sayori. Fine, I won't show Yuri my poem. Are you happy? I won't be happy until you try to talk to her. She's not gonna bite, Natsuki. Alright, I get it. I'll try to talk to her sometime. Thanks, you're gonna do the club proud. Shut it! Man, now I have to hide this poem away. I worked really hard on it, you know. You could easily turn that energy toward more positive things, though, right? I guess so. I'm just frustrated that my poem's message missed the mark this time. Rude! You should always try to make something people can take a message away from. Remember that. Anyway, I'm gonna write good one tomorrow. Shouldn't that be? Anyway, I'm gonna write a good one tomorrow, so you wait. Poor grammar? Much? Alright, let's show Sayori next. Alex? Your poems are seriously amazing. I can't believe you never told me how good of a poet you are. Huh? Sayori, I'm not really that great. And you're the one who likes my poems this much. Really? You're telling me Yuri and Natsuki didn't love them? Well, Yuri didn't think it was a bad poem, but she wasn't as positive as you are. I don't think my style really matches hers. Oh, don't worry about her. She's got a super unique way of writing anyway. Her technique is that I can't read it. What about Natsuki? Well, I guess the impression that Natsuki is the least likely to admit how much she likes something. I don't think it's that, though. Huh? I guess I'll be honest with you. I find it easier to write poems when I'm thinking about our memories together. Really? Sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? I nervously laughed, noticing the blush that crept up on Sayori's cheeks. It's sort of a blush. I don't know, I feel like my life's kind of boring. Like, whatever happens in it is just literally that. Whereas with you, well, whenever I look back on our memories, everything seemed to be such an adventure whenever you were around. Like when exploring in that forest near our house ages ago. You made it seem like it was an exciting adventure, kind of like we were both archaeologists or something. Whereas if I went there myself, I just think I was going for a stroll in a forest. I glance over at Sayori. She has a faraway look on her face, wearing a wistful smile. Yeah, I remember that. I was convinced there was spooky wood trolls out there. That's exactly what I mean. You got such a vivid imagination. And I guess I can tap into that imagination whenever I'm thinking about you. We just have this sort of connection. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And it's still there, even after all these years. I think I sort of understand what you mean. Can I ask a favor of you, Alex? What's up? Can I, keep this poem? This is, the first time you've written something for me. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude or anything, but I didn't write it for you. But, okay, you can keep it. I still don't think my poetry skills are anything special. I can have it? Yay! My voice keeps cracking. Thank you. Hold on, Sayori. Not everyone's read my poem yet, so I think it'd be unfair to give you my poem right now. Oh, that's true. I should have thought of the others first. It's fine. I get that you're just so excited. I'll give it to you later, okay? Okay! Anyway, I still need to read yours. Oh, I totally forgot. Yeah, we were just talking here for too long. It's nowhere near as good as yours, though. I'm sure you'll like it. Sure, I'll like it, I mean. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside my thumb and forefinger to pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends, each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friends feel a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all alone, I open up and it comes in my friends. In come my friend. Take two. Finally, all done, I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the top shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle, but every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something, but all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Okay. Wow, Sayori. I didn't expect this at all. Did you really write this? Of course I did. Remember, I said I'd write the best poem ever yesterday. Well, here it is. After all, Monica has taught me a lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently, so that's what this poem's about. I suppose that much was obvious. Unlike Yuri's and Monica's poems, Sayori are relatively simple to figure out. So, if I interpret this correctly, you're basically doing everything you can to keep your friends happy. Yeah, you got it! I really enjoyed writing this one. Just getting your thoughts out on paper and turning them into a poem is like magic! Well, I think it's amazing. You should really be proud of it. Thanks, Alex. That means a lot. I didn't think it was that good, though. Nah, it's great. Seriously. I can't help but notice that the latter half of this poem isn't quite as cheery. In fact, it's somewhat alarming. It's a very dark contrast from what is cheeriness I'm used to with Sayori. Although, maybe I'm looking into this a little too much, but the end of the poem is pretty dark. And you said you've been in touch with your feelings recently, so I'm just checking. Is everything okay? Of course, silly! I forgot to tell you, I really like writing about bittersweet stuff. Stuff that isn't just happy or just sad. A mixture of the two. And this poem shows what I mean. Hold on. Sorry, I just felt dizzy there and just had to take a drink real quick. It's just my writing style. Ah, okay, that makes sense, I guess. Well, either way, I'm glad you're enjoying writing so much. I hope you keep it up. Good to have a hobby. Of course, and hopefully you'll also stick with it. So I look forward to seeing all the poems you write in the future. Well, no guarantees there, but just from seeing the passion in Sayori's eyes, it's hard to be pessimistic. Okay. But you know what? I'll go and save now, even though we got one option left, which is Monica. Here's my poem. Hi again, Alex. I'm trusting that the club's been doing you well. Same answer as yesterday. That's nice to hear. Why are you leaning like that? That's weird. So how's the writing going? Alright, I guess. Just alright, No, I guess I should say that it's revolutionized my world and brought color into my previous life. Well, I say that, but the club isn't, if not the poetry, really has made my days more interesting. Okay, can it with the sarcasm? Can it with the sarcasm, mister? At least you're not hating it, though, right? Nah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting experience, at least. Gives me a new hobby to do. I'm happy that you're applying yourself, at least. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. Just alright, thanks. I can see that you put in some good effort there. Very sincere poem, once again. And very similar to Sayori's poetry. You might say you might still have more in common with her than you think. Maybe. It's easier to write about from my heart when I'm thinking about nostalgic things. So that might be it. Writing poetry while wearing rose-tinted glasses then. Well, it's not like I do it intentionally. That's just how my brain works. I mean, even if you did, there's nothing wrong with that. Poetry can be seen as another way to express your inner emotions, a way that you can use when ordinary prose, is that how you say it? Can't quite describe what's in your mind. So writing about how your long-lost childhood friend makes you feel is just as valid as, say, writing about how the human condition is inherently full of conflict. I'm guessing that the latter is more of a Yuri poem. You might think that, but actually a style like Sayori's could still fit that theme of just as well. Really? How do you figure? Well, first off, have you ever heard of the poet Robert Frost? I think I have, probably in an English class somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if you learned about him in class. He's an incredibly famous American poet after all. Anyway, it's easy to recognize his poetry since he's always used to use classic meters and tons of monologues and dialogues. He was also pretty fond of themes centering around nature and New England. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't sound like anything like Sayori's poetry. No, you're actually right. She doesn't have the lyricism that Frost has, and not too many of their themes intersect. I guess the mood of their poetry is what strikes me as similar. Both of them write incredibly sincere and powerful poems, even though they aren't mind-bogglingly complex or anything. And although their poems may seem to be about one thing at first, while with another read-through you might find that there's actually a deeper meaning behind those words. That does sound a bit more like Sayori's poetry. Is she really that deep? Alex, you shouldn't underestimate Sayori. In fact, why don't you ask her for another look at her poetry? Then you'll see what I mean. Alright. I'll talk to her about it sometime. But in the meantime, you want to show me your poem now? I think it's about time we let your poem shine. Sure thing, Alex. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Pressurized. I float there in vast, hollow emptiness, large but small, glanduous and overwhelming, yet a dust mote. Drifting, meandering, carrying along in endless void. But then I realize, my eyes open, bloodshot, my mouth opens, gasping for breath in this crushing, suppressing, restraining, boundless, everlasting, suffocating vacuum of torment. Atmosphere Pascal tore, screaming with no mouth, stretching, restraining, unrelenting, clawing with no nails, my bad. Disintegrating in a suffocating poem of absence. What? What was that? It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Really? Or freeform too, if that's what you call it. I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just the kind of thing I never really seen before, I guess. Hold on. This one strand of hair by my face keeps getting in my eyes and it keeps bothering me. The other girls don't do this stuff nearly as much as you do, at least. Yeah, you could say that they're a bit more traditional when it comes to their structure, but I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. Okay, who was that again who was saying like writing the poems is like magic? Was that Sayori or was that Yuri? Don't remember. It fragments everything and leaves a dissonant tone with the reader. I see. I guess that there's a lot of things you can do in poetry. Definitely, poetry is very much an art form. You're meant to craft poems using never-before-seen combinations of words to interpret the world around you. You really love poetry, huh? Maybe you should write a poem about poetry someday. That's not a bad idea. Anyway, it's still hard for me to tell what your poem's about. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Well, they normally have a message. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? Now, we've all had to experience it at this point with the poetry discussion and all, but it can really be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. If you find other people who enjoy writing though, then sharing becomes a lot easier, because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus on more everything than went into it and the thing that you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. Yeah, it definitely is more helpful getting real criticism and feedback rather than just empty words. I guess I really hit the mother load with the literature club. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? Actually, Natsuki and I haven't shared yet. Uh-oh, I can feel a storm coming on. Yuri hesitantly approaches Natsuki, who isn't meeting her eyes. And considering Natsuki's poem for today, it's no wonder that she doesn't want to share it with Yuri. Judging by Monica and Sayori's anxious expression, they seem to be thinking all along the same lines as I am. I can practically see Natsuki sweating pinballs. Ew. Meanwhile, Yuri appears to be blissfully unaware of the situation. I convinced Natsuki to reconcile with Yuri, but if she sees Natsuki's poem, well, it's all over. So, Natsuki, if I may... Huh? How about we do this tomorrow instead? I'm not feeling well. It's my time of the month. Wait, what? I can practically see Monica internally facepalming. Natsuki must have forgotten that the club isn't all girls anymore. Ah, is that so? I'm sorry, you must feel absolutely terrible if you can't share your poem today. You don't need to apologize, it's not your fault. I can definitely share tomorrow. Well, even if you aren't well enough to share your own poem, would you like to see mine? I wrote thinking of our argument the other day. I suppose that I wanted to show you that I'm more open-minded than I may ever appeared. As a way of repenting. Wait, what was that? As a way of repenting. I have no idea what that means. I know it's not much, but hopefully this can contribute to a reconciliation between us. Although we may not have our disagreements, I would like to consider you as a friend. And friends forgive each other. Ugh, I'm sorry if that's presumptuous for me to say. No, it's not presumptuous of you to say. These are big words for me. Because I'd like to consider you as a friend too. So you can hand over that poem then. With a shy smile, Yuri hands the sheet of paper in her hands over to Natsuki. Natsuki reads the poem, her eyes widen. You're writing using rhyme and stuff, like me? You could say that you concede me to practice adding more lyricism into my poetry. Natsuki looks like she's speechless for once. Thanks, Yuri, it's awesome. There's really no need to thank me. Well, I'm really glad that I got to know you. And I definitely have something that'll knock your socks out tomorrow. Then I'll be looking forward to that. I do hope you feel better tomorrow as well, so that you could share your work with me then. Ha, yeah, of course. That was a crisis and a half avoided. I'm really glad that Natsuki and Yuri worked things out, and it seems that Monica and Sayori feel the same way. It's good to see everyone getting along. Now that we're done sharing though, I have something to discuss with you all. There's a great opportunity for expanding the club that's coming up. Is this about the festival? You could say that. Ugh, do we have to do something for it? It's only a few days, so it's not like we'll be able to come up with anything good. Yes, that's something that's concerned as well. With such little time to prepare, I doubt we'll be able to put together anything good enough to attract new members. Yeah, we'll just end up embarrassing ourselves. Oh, will you? Oh, don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Nothing more than a few decorations. I can design some pamphlets to hand out at the event, and Sayori made posters to put up around the school. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to put on a poetry performance. A what? Monica. Everyone's going to choose a poem to recite out loud. It doesn't have to be written about you, as long as you put your heart into the recitation. Wait, what was that? Can this be written about you, as long as you put every heart into the recitation. That's what it is. Although, of course, it'd be great if you could show off your own work. And the cool part is we're also going to let everyone else come up with and recite their poems too. Yeah, I put a thing on the posters that says bring your own poems. It's gonna be so cool. Sayori pulls a poster out of her bag and holds it up to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? Don't tell me that you started putting those posters up already. Well, I did. Do you really think that it's that bad of an idea? Well, you didn't even ask us before we started advertising. We never agreed to stand up in front of a bunch of random people and perform our poems. I agree with Natsuki. I can never in my life do something like that. Imagining Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys! Yes, let's please calm down and take a moment to think about this. I understand you two haven't had much experience sharing your poems out loud. In fact, we all haven't done that much. But I still think we should try our best. Look around. Monica motions to all of us. We're all here because we have passion for literature and this club. Don't you want to share that passion with other people to inspire them to pursue their inner writer? Yeah! It's all about exploring yourself and trying new things, all while having fun. Monica and I nod our heads in agreement. I mean, we kind of have to. Natsuki and Yuri, on the other hand, remain silent and motionless. Guess that means it's my turn to say something. I mean, I don't think it's that much to ask. As Monica said, we're all here because we care about the club and want to see it flourish. And if all that means is a 2-minute poetry performance, then I think we can manage. Sarah and Monica's faces light up as I finish speaking. Hey, it isn't like we don't care about this club. It's just, do we really have to perform? You know You know how hard it is to get new members? It's because people are just narrow-minded jerks that don't even give literature a chance. Who's to say this festival will be any different? I'm inclined to agree with Natsuki. I'm sorry, Monica. I know how you want to do this, but I just can't imagine performing in front of a crowd of strangers. Well, at least Yuri and Natsuki have proven they can agree on something. Monica sighs, her eyes closed, she rubs her temples. Look, guys, I know you're anxious. I understand that, I really do. To be honest with you, I'm a little nervous myself. After all, it's my club, so people are going to judge me the most if our performance doesn't go well. Natsuki, if it makes you feel any better, a few of my friends will be coming along. They're lovely people, they won't judge you for your taste. I've known them for a few years, trust me. Natsuki huffs, turning away. She doesn't look particularly convinced. And Yuri, I know it's a scary thought, but I've thought of a way to ease you into it. Why don't we start by practicing our poems to each other in the club? No way! Monica! This is too sudden! Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of those strangers? But, Monica, there's just gotta be something else we can do. Yuri nods vigorously at Natsuki's words, anxiety written all over her face. But guys! No, Sayori, it's okay. If you guys really think we can do better than a poetry performance, then I'll gladly go along with an alternative. So, any ideas? An awkward silence fills the room. I got nothing! We all glance at each other, anxiously before Sayori finally speaks up. Ooh, we could... Sayori stops to think to herself for a moment. Wait, no, never mind. That wouldn't work. Once again, the room falls silent. Well then, I guess we can't come up with something different after all. Monica laughs, attempting to ease tension in the room. I know you guys might not be the most on board with this idea, but I think it's our best option. Please, guys, please. Can you stop pressuring us? I'm honestly surprised Natsuki's putting up with such resistance. I knew she was a little hot-headed, but even still. I'm not pressuring you, Natsuki. Don't worry, I just gotta lean for a second. Both of them have raised their voices. Yuri looks a little startled, and Sayori looks anxious to intervene. Guys, please, there's no need to get angry. Can't we just discuss this normally? Monica reflects on Sayori's words, looking a little ashamed of her outburst. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to raise my voice. It's just, this festival is important to me, that's all. Ever since I created this club, I always wanted to show other people. Natsuki, Yuri, I imagine you were both a little apprehensive when Alex joined, right? After all, he was an unfamiliar face. She smiled warmly at me. But look, he's interrogating really well. He's made the effort to get to know us and our individual writing styles. She turns to Yuri. And Yuri, remember at the start when he asked you for a book recommendation? Yuri nods and Monica shoots her a knowing smile. Must have been lovely being able to share a book you're so passionate about with a new person, right? Yes, it was enjoyable discussion with you, Alex. Well, yeah, likewise. It isn't something I normally read, so without you, it would have gone by unnoticed. See, guys? Maybe we'll find more people who are just into us as into horror, Yuri. More like-minded people. Now come on, tell me that isn't an appealing idea. Yes, of course, but really my biggest issue is with the actual performance aspect of the festival. My problem is my watch keeps interrupting me. Well, like I said, I know it's a scary thought performing in front of a bunch of strangers, but trust me, when I say I have full faith in you, in all of you. Your poems are amazing, guys. I just know people will love them. It's almost criminal to not show them off. But so, what do you think, guys? For me? For us? Ugh, fine. I still don't think that's a good idea, but fine, I'll do it. Just stop guilt-tripping us. Phew! Thanks, Natsuki. And you, Yuri? Yuri nervously glances at each of our expected faces. But Monica, what if people start being inconsiderate and disturb us or laugh? I'm not surprised Yuri is worried about this. Oh, don't you worry. If anyone steps out of line, I'll put a swift stop to that. Don't get too violent. Okay, I didn't miss a line. She has a stern glint in her eye as I have to repress a shiver. I'm glad she met with us. Yuri looks somewhat relieved, but it's clear she's still worried. She swallows and nods. I suppose I don't really have a choice, do I? I shake my head. Okay, I'll do it. Yay, that's everyone! You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. I've seen this as well. It just trusts me. We're on to the main event. While we still have time, why don't you choose a poem and yours to practice reciting in front of each of us? Doki exchange uneasy glances but don't say anything. Don't worry, I'll go first so everyone is a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through your notebook, searching for a poem. You have to search for a specific one? The Way They Fly. Monica keeps reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. Her eyes move across the page and sync with her lips. Every word is a perfect amount of emotion, but... Okay, this is still just the same as the original. There's nothing changed about this mod. I mean, the thing that is changed is that like Monica is like has like a turned angle instead of like facing you head on. That's what I remember without the mod. Natsuki's off. Finally, Monica finished the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? Yep. Sayori jumps up from her chair and takes Monica's place for the room. This poem is called, how did you do it so easily, Monica? Well, try to imagine you're alone, like you're reciting it to yourself. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. Oh, I think I get it. Sayori nods to herself, and his poem is called My Meadow. Sayori begins reciting the poem. It seems as her soft voice is a perfect match. As for the poem itself, it has a similar tone when compared to her other ones. It's peaceful, yet somber at the same time. Okay. Hearing the poem in Sayori's voice almost gives it an entirely new meaning. I think this is what Sayori means when she says she likes my poems. It's like seeing a whole new side of someone. Finish, and we all applaud. I did it! Yeah, but you just did it in front of everyone else. Sayori beams as she walks back to her seat. So who'd like to go next? Natsuki, Yuri, and I all look at her. Open my mouth, but Yuri beats me to the punch. I'll go! Nice! Thanks for showing initiative, Yuri, but I was hesitant and very quick there. Rushes to the poem, clutching a sheet of paper in her hands. This poem is called, don't look at me for guidance. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri begins to recite the poem. Her voice is shaky at first, but the more she reads, the more confident she becomes. It's similar to what happens when she gets absorbed into her books. Then the shy and apprehensive Yuri I'm used to is replaced by a fierce and confident woman. The poem itself is like a maze in a structure, while twists and turns every line, but Yuri is unfazed and enunciates each word with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire that Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly she finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she's bewildered by herself. Monica is the first to start applauding. Sheepishly, I follow along. Soon the club room is filled with applause. Yuri ducks her head in embarrassment, plays with her hair. Yuri, that was really good. Like I said, you don't have anything to worry about. Thank you for sharing. Thanks. Guess Yuri's done for the day. So who'd like to go next? Natsuki? Why should I go before Alex? It's not like I can compare to you guys or anything. Might as well let Alex lower everyone's standards before I go. Natsuki! Monica hastens to chastise her, shooting her look. That was kind of rude, don't you think? You should apologize to Alex. Natsuki's faces turn red as the girls all look at her. I decide to spare Natsuki from the embarrassment. Hey, it's really no big deal. I'll end up going at the same point anyway. Might as well do it now. Thing is, I don't have much of a selection to choose from. Let's go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step to the front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I take a deep breath In my head, I repeat to myself the advice Sayori gave Sayori. Try to imagine you're alone, like you're reciting it to yourself. Like reciting it to a camera. Or no, mirror. Alone. My house is the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of being alone. The scene rapidly develops in my head like I'm recalling a recent memory. I'm sitting alone at my desk. The dim light hanging from the ceiling gives me a warmth to my room. In front of me is a poem I just had to finish. The ink from my pen is still fresh on the page. I picked up the notebook and began to recite it out loud. While I'm not the most confident in it, I still try and put energy into it. I can almost hear my voice echoing off my bedroom walls. As I finish, the sound of applause pulls me back in my daydream. Whoop! I'm back in the club room, standing in front of the podium while girls politely applaud my performance. That was good, Alex. I guess. Don't be so hard on yourself. Pardon me, I just dazed out there for a second. I don't think that's your writing abilities, rather your lack of confidence that weighs you down. That's something that'll improve over time, though, so don't worry. Yeah, okay, thanks. Alright then, that just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Jeez, she does not want to perform at all. This poem is called, Stop Looking at Me! But you're presenting. You don't have to stare straight into my soul, though. You know, to compose himself. And his poem is called Jump. This is the same. This is all the same from the original. This, again, like I was saying, the only thing different is just where we had like the other two people at like the beginning and like the first episode. And then we had like Monica odd stance, like she's not staring us dead on. Finishing house, okay. That wasn't so bad, was it? She stares at my poem blankly for a second. Easy for you to say. You better not make me do it again. Well, that's what we're going to be doing at the festival, so do you at least feel confident enough to do it in front of a crowd? I guess. Not like there's any other choice. And I guess it'll be easier that doing it in front of other people. I can just put on whatever face I want with strangers. I don't care about what they think of me. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. But I still hate the idea of what we have to perform. She mutters the last sentence under her breath, and the others probably didn't even hear it. I know Natsuki was stubborn, but this whole never level. However, it does look like she's going to, along with the idea of performing for the festival. Well, at least for now, since she's basically outvoted and can't come up with another idea. Really? That's a surprise. For me, it's the other way around. Having all those people looking at you, judging you? I don't like to think about it. I can relate to that. Everyone probably can. The thought of so many eyes observing you, or your every move all at once. She trails off, shaking her head. Well, that's just how it is, so. Natsuki sighs in frustration. Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. Speaking of which, I want to thank you all for your performing. It might be difficult, but now we have a general idea of what it's going to be like. We'll be able to prepare for the festival. Make sure you pick out a poem and show it to me by tomorrow, okay? I'll need to know so I can make pamphlets over the weekend. I should probably find a different poem to recite. I know you'd prefer if we use our own poetry, but I'm probably going to pick a poem from a poet I like or something. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, Alex. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting all this effort into the club. Low expectations, huh? More like any effort put in makes me happy in general. Okay. Smile. Okay. That goes for everyone here. Thanks for going along with these last minute plans. Anyway, I think that does it for today. We'll still try and write poems for tomorrow, okay? I know the festival's coming up, but it's been working out nicely the past few days, and I'd like it to continue. Tomorrow we'll finalize who's doing what for the festival, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Remember, we still have till Monday. It'll be so much fun! I can't wait! We all stand up, packing our things. However, Monica's voice stops us. Oh, and guys, she pauses, twirling a strand of her hair in her hand. This club truly means so much to me, and I really appreciate what you're willing to do for it. You guys are the best! In typical fashion, Natsuki just rolls her eyes. Yuri smiles timidly while Sayori wears a hearty smile. Let's just get it over with. I hope we don't regret this. That's okay, Monica. Nothing to thank us for. We really appreciate what you made for us. I can't help but catch Yuri muttering under her breath as she says this. I can do this. Yeah, I love it here. We'll get to spread this cozy little place to other people. Yeah, it's all good, Monica. All right. I stand up and grab my bag. Well, I'm certainly not enthusiastic as Monica and Sayori about the festival. If I can pull that little daydream stunt again, I think I'll be alright. It's for the sake of the club, not to mention impressing the girls. Once I'm fully packed up, I walk over to Sayori. Ready to go? Yep! Jeez, don't you ever get tired of walking home with Alex, Sayori? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Oh, don't mind her. You guys are more adorable than anything. Alright. No need to make such a big deal about it. Must be a little nice, though. Yeah, I guess. Ah, jeez. Let's just go already, Sayori. Okay! Yep, bye! Leave us alone. Two of us begin to walk home. A lot has changed in the past few days. Lost in thought, I don't even notice how quiet Sayori's being until we're almost back home. There's a lot going on in the new club now, eh? I'll bet you're thinking about all your new vice president duties now that you'll have to deal with when the club grows bigger. Yeah. Anything specific on your mind? Not really. Sorry, did you want to talk? I mean, we don't have to if you're thinking about stuff. No, it's nice talking to you. Uh-oh. I was thinking about something from earlier. It's nice that we, never mind, it's nothing. That's not good. You're sounding a little like Yuri right now. Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I have a question for you, Alex. What's up? Sarah clears the throat before speaking. So, let's say that one day Yuri has to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I'll save. I'll get a save here, because I think a choice is coming up. Well, no, I'd rather walk home. I'd still walk home with Sayori. I would still walk home with you. I'd walk with you, of course. Yeah, Sayori pauses for a moment. Eh? She glances at me from the side before turning away. But she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez, why me? Her reply surprises me and not sure how to answer or what she wants to hear. I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Alex. She gives me a pained smile. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it, so... Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, like I said, I enjoyed catching up with you again. Why would I change that for another girl? Walking home with you and talking about it, just anything. It's a great throwback. She doesn't seem to be as happy as I'd imagined. I mean, both our childhoods were unpleasant. Strange. The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care about, but I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Sayori and I part ways without saying another word. I reach my house and open the door. Back home, finally. I'm home! What is this music? No response. I'm alone, as usual. I mumble that part of myself, talking to myself as I am the protagonist of a manga or game, must be going stir crazy. Mom is still out on a business trip, she's never home anymore. I miss her, but I don't blame her for anything. It's hard enough providing for yourself, let alone a kid. Since I'm alone, I decided to make an instant meal for dinner. Digging through the cabinets, I found some old soup cups. Miso soup sounds good. I unwrap the package, pour in water, and place the meal in the microwave. While it cooks, my mind wanders back to my performance earlier. That daydream was so vivid, so realistic. I'm just surprised that, like, the fact that he said that he was daydreaming when trying to recite that. I'm surprised that he didn't just, like the whole background of the club room didn't change to his house, considering that he was daydreaming about being in front of his house. Can I really pull off that performance again, but this time in front of a crowd? It wasn't even that great in the first place. Just doing it in front of the girls was nerve-wracking. Guess I'm not really used to being around people again. Maybe that's it. Thinking about it, I guess I've kind of subconsciously isolating myself from... wait, what was that? I thought I saw... You guys probably didn't see it because it's probably behind my webcam. Before even in some cases, I wondered when I started shutting myself. Maybe that's part of why Sayori and I drifted apart over the past few years. It wasn't intentional or anything, it just happened. At least I don't think it was intentional. But I'm glad I got to reconnect with her in the literature club. It's given me something to do, something to look forward to, that isn't anime or video games. Talking with these girls just made me feel more appreciated. It's a nice feeling, something that's been missing from me since years of that divorce. Wait, what? Since the divorce, okay. Maybe that's why Sayori likes walking home with me. It makes her feel appreciated. Sayori. The more I think about it, the more concerned for her I get. She said some pretty weird stuff, but I guess people just have their off days. Maybe she's just changed for a little bit, but over the years, pretty normal, right? I'd like to think I'd be able to tell if something was up with her. Oh shoot, I missed that. Sorry, I was just trying to check the time, like the actual time. I think, although given our recent distances, I'm not so sure. Sure, we started talking again, but there's a lot lost time. Maybe that'll change, and we'll go back to how we used to. Beep! I hope. That's the microwave. Okay, cutscene transition, I guess. I guess that's what I call it. And poem time. When that's the music. Okay, I've written 2 poems for Sayori, so I'm gonna try and write a third one to see where it goes. She has some weird stuff. She's saying some weird stuff, like what we were saying. Oh no, not that. Adventure. Okay, like she was saying weird stuff, and hopefully writing another poem, I can be able to like win her over again. Broken. This is also something written loud. Okay, that's also for her. Giggle? Like a lot of vivid. No. Disoriented? No. Horror. Hopeless? Oh. Whoa! Why did Sarah jump to that? Let's see. Dazzle, okay? Desire? Okay. Agonizing? Tears? Oh, whoa! Disaster? So a lot of these darker words is something for Sayori. Hair? Natsuki, despise? Fear? Again, that made her jump. What? Wonderful? Okay, and landscape. Sure. Oh man, what? I'm the last one here. Oh, don't worry about it. Everyone's late from time to time. Okay, I'm just gonna save. And you know what? I'm actually gonna just go and stop this one here. I'm sorry that this was a little bit shorter than the previous episodes, but we got segued into what is probably going to happen in the next day of the club room. We got our other poem written for Sayori, so hopefully going down, if we write a poem for one girl if we keep writing for one girl for like the next few days, hopefully something might happen. And I chose Sayori specifically because obviously in the game, she's a childhood friend, so of course we would want to write something special for Sayori. But I'm just gonna leave it here. If you guys did like this video and you want to see more Doki Doki Blue Skies or what else, make sure you stab that like button and make sure you leave a comment down below about what you guys want to see next on this channel, or use the hashtag MSVPlayThis on Twitter as well, because I always take your guys' suggestions. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. That way you know when I post a new video on this channel. Check out my social media in the description below as well, but that's gonna go and do it. My name is Luke, and say it with me. Stay strong and feel the power. See ya! Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button so you stay tuned for future videos. If you want to check out my previous video, click the box to the left. If you want to check out my last video, click the box to the right. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!